What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new Star Trek Discovery video. And today I figured it was probably time to dive more into something that we've discussed really briefly over the course of my last few videos, the Klingon Redesign. Already, this is one of the most controversial aspects of this new show, a massive design change to one of Star Trek's most iconic alien races, which had stayed largely the same since they debuted in the 60s, with some minor design updates here and there along the way. This is a complete design overhaul though, and now they look much more alien, maybe a little bit too similar to Idris Elba's Star Trek Beyond villain Krall, which I'm actually sure was not intentional. So I figured in this video I'd take a look at some of the major changes in the design, both compared to Worf from The Next Generation and other Klingons throughout series history. First up, maybe the most notable change, the hair, and you might notice a key difference between the Discovery Klingons and any Klingons before is that the new look is 100% hairless, with none on the top of their head, no facial hair of any kind, or even eyebrows. This definitely results in a little more of an alien look, but it also kind of fits in the larger biology of the Klingons, specifically their reduced resistance to cold, which is something evolutionary having hair would help solve. The lack of hair also serves to further highlight their brow ridges, which brings us to item number 2. Going all the way back to the earliest appearances of the Klingons, it seems like the trend has been for them to get ridgier and ridgier, with the smooth, ridgeless look of the original series Klingons explained away as a specific genetically mutated group. By the time we get to Worf in The Next Generation, the ridges are super prominent, easily the Klingons' most identifiable feature. Well, if you liked the brow ridges, you're in luck. The Klingons just got even more of them. Not only do they seem a little more highlighted and pronounced as the alien race no longer seems to have hair, they seem to have more on the sides of their head too, and in some cases running down back to their spines. It seems like these kind of follow the edges of the bones to a certain extent, so I'd be interested to see if this is a pattern occurring all over their body or just in the brow and all over the skull. They also don't seem to be the same on every Klingon, which is consistent with some of the previous background given to the ridges, that they're unique to each individual, but families often share special patterns or features. Just as the brow ridges seem to be more enhanced and prominent, so do the aliens' noses. They honestly seem kind of sharper and a little bit pulled back and more textured, even more texture than Worf had on his, which definitely wasn't just a straight humanoid nose. Honestly, it looks like they took the redesign from Star Trek Into Darkness and then took it a step even further. Another major change is their color. You know, while most Klingons throughout the previous incarnation were roughly human shades, running from darker brown to lighter in the case of certain individuals like General Chang, the Klingons of Star Trek Discovery are for the most part distinctly non-human hues. T'Kuvma, one of the main Klingon figures in the series, is unironically literally jet black, while his protege Cole looks almost purple, and others shown earlier look gray even. The different colors could be used much like the patterns in the brow ridges to identify certain tribes, certain clans, or even certain smaller families, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. Last but not least, one of the more underrated changes made to everyone's favorite on-again, off-again antagonistic aliens, their fashion sense. That might sound like a joke, but I'm actually not even kidding. If you look at the style of the original series Klingons and even the Next Generation Klingons, it's very kind of tribal, and when they do wear armor, it almost looks like old school leather. Fast forward to Discovery's Klingons, or maybe take a few steps back in time, and you can see the armor is actually much more ornate and kind of resembles bones, which goes back to my point about their ridges maybe covering more than just their brows. We do see, like on Cole for instance, that on a regular basis they might wear more of some normal leather-looking stuff, so maybe what we see T'Kuvma wearing and the rest in that kind of meeting scene was just ceremonial armor, but we'll just have to wait and see. So let me know what you think of the redesign and what you think of this little guide in the comment section down below, but that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.